Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick. Welcome back to Freedom Algo. So this is going to be a little chaotic looking at first until I can break it down. But basically what we had here was what I thought was a range that ended up giving us a measured move up here. There's a couple measured moves in here, but there is also an upward bias to this whole thing. So there's kind of a wider up channel. So what started as a range that broke out and did not fail back in ended up hitting a measured move, and it looks like we are respecting this wider up channel that fits pretty nicely off the highs. Midline fits nice. The lows fit nice. We don't have a third touch of the low to really confirm for sure that this channel is going to be in play, but it appears to be working this way. And so let's break it down here. I'm going to zoom in and go through some of these here. Forgot to say it is January 23rd, 2025. You can't see it at the top there. All right, so we had this wide channel working down. Got to close outside. Attempt to go lower, but it didn't end up getting lower. So I drew this up channel here. You know, you can see that the up channel was in play. There's a close outside, and then we opened. The market opened in here really sideways. There just wasn't a good setup. I was looking for a second entry long, but just didn't really set up. You kind of get one right here that triggers on this doji, but it's a terrible bar. And then there's a higher low. It's basically not a higher low, but it's kind of equal lows here. So you don't really get a higher low. There's just no good setups there. It's just two sideways. So no real good trades. You don't want to trade into congestion like this. So, you know, second entry triggered above this bar, and that's not a good signal bar. So there's just really no setups there, unfortunately. So if you had a good signal bar here, there might have been a possible second entry, and it probably would have worked, but we just didn't get it. So then I drew this low here. And there's a possibility of a wider channel as it was going up. The bias was seeming up all day, but there is a second entry short here that's a reasonable trade. The bar is not perfect because of the stem on the bottom. Like, so I don't love it, but it is, I would say that's in the lower third of the bar. So you could take that one. It's a little risky. It is a close outside a new high all at once, but a lower high would be better, but you don't get it. Ends up giving you a scalp. Then it goes sideways again. There's kind of a triple test here, but no real signal bar. Down here, we have this downtrend working. So we close outside of this. You are expecting a new high because we close outside of the wider channel. So if that wider channel was valid, which it looks like it was, we'd expect a new high at some point. So from here, you could treat this like a double top, and you could say first entry, second entry long. This is one of those ones where it's a green arrow because it is a close outside and a new low all at once on the downtrend. Downtrend played out. It's basically a triple test of this level with a higher low than this back here. The problem with it is that it's a huge bar compared to everything else today. So the way you would let this happen is you'd let it break higher and then drop a limit order back further, maybe in like the middle of the bar somewhere, which would have filled you probably on this candle right here. And then you would still have your stop loss below. And then that way you get a better fill. And then you would have gotten filled on your order somewhere around here for your scalp. And that's just kind of how you had to play it. It was really low volatility this morning. Volatility started to pick up later after this uptrend. So what ended up happening here was we had an uptrend in place that broke out of the top of the channel. I don't see any way to really get into this. I was looking for a higher or for a new low here that would give us a bullish bar, but we ended up just getting an equal low there. So I didn't take this or mark this as a triple test. Unfortunately, it's all equal lows there, so it's kind of congested, and then you get this really bullish bar. You can't really enter above that. If this did break like one tick down and then give you a bullish bar, I would have said take it, but I just didn't like it. That was the nature of today. There was a lot of times where there was almost a setup that didn't quite work. There is a first entry, second entry short failure here, but I don't think you can take a failed second entry into the highs like that because you don't know if this is going to be a failed breakout. It's still within the uptrend, so I didn't like that one. And as you see, if you did take it, you would have been sitting sideways for a while. Now, eventually we get a close outside. We get the new high. Now, this is definitely one where it's risky because it's a close outside a new high. It is reaching a measured move that I had drawn on here, but that's a risky one. The lower high is a better move, and so there it is. And I actually did take that lower high. So that was a nice trade. I posted screenshots of that one in my membership community that is in that you get through through Discord and the website and stuff. So anyway, that was there. And then down here, we get a failed second entry long. So you got this new high, first entry, second entry long that breaks up and then fails right here. And so one tick below that bar, and it just once it hits this level, it's going to shoot through because all the stops are right here on the longs. And so that's another one. It's a continuation pattern. It's a closeout side of this down channel where you're still expecting a new low. And also you have some space down to that gap fill area that we might come back and test, and also the range high. So that was where I thought we might be getting the failed breakout. Ends up not. It ends up just coming down, and we actually get a close outside and a new low all at once. So if you went long there, it's a little risky, but it's there. You're better off to wait for the higher low, which comes here. And so you get a nice higher low there. And then you actually get a failed second entry short here, which is like another higher low continuation pattern within the up channel. So both of those are good setups. If you didn't take the higher low, you could have taken the failed second entry. All right, then it comes up, breaks out, or sorry, closes outside, and then it comes up, and you get this one. This is just a trap, so it goes up. It's the uptrend is played out at this point. That that one is, it's a new high, and it engulfs here. So if you entered this on the engulfing bar, there's just a trap there. But again, that's risky. You're better off to wait for some sort of lower high. You don't really get one. You get one here, but at this point you wouldn't take it because now it looks like we do have an up channel. When it respected this here and went up, it looks like there's a wider up channel in play. So then it comes up, we have this down channel, first entry long right here. It then pulls back and gives you a higher low second entry long. And we're looking for a new high on the channel. So that's a nice one. We get the new high. And then right here, there is a pullback first entry. And then this one actually gives you a failed second entry long all in one, basically, the way that this one went. Because it opened here, it pushed up, and then broke below. And so that one's a kind of a trap setup. And now what we have here is this came out. This channel moved on me like always. I can't stand when it does that. I was actually looking at this more like this. I don't know why here we go. Something like that. And then it breaks out here. And so we actually have here this up channel, and it comes up. We actually have a first entry short. And there might be this is a tough one here because we need a new high on this up channel, but we also need a new low here. So a second entry short could be a valid setup here. And what we're looking for is possibly to come back and test this level down here. So that's what I see for the day. There are some blue arrow and red arrow trades, so if you were patient, you would have got them, but you would have had to wait for the volatility because early in the day, all you had is this green arrow short and green arrow long, and the next really, the actually first good setup wasn't until over an hour and a half after the open. So that is important to note. Sometimes you have days like this. The volatility has been a little bit low. So that's pretty much all I got for the day. And I'm going to look forward to tomorrow. We got some news releases in the morning. Maybe volatility will come back, but I will see you in the next one.